Classic Restos is proudly brought to you by Shannons Insurance, where you can sign up for the Shannons Club, and Penrite Oil, offering technical assistance 7 days a week.
Hello and welcome to a very moving episode of Classic Restos. Of course, not possible without the continued support from Shannons Insurance and Penrite Oil. A bushfire-prone area and Shannons Insurance just go hand in hand. And when you see these classics behind me, how could you not have them insured with the best? Why not pick up the phone and give Shannons a call for a quote on 134646? And if you haven't signed up to become a member of the Shannons Club, well, you should, because Fletch said. It's a great website and very comprehensive. You can interact with fellow enthusiasts. You can even list your own car club and search for a car club while you're there as well. Plus so much more. The Shannons Club truly is your garage. Find out more when you visit Shannons at shannons.com.au. And how good is Penrite Oil? I'll tell you, they are so good, they now do oil for the classic minis. No matter what the application, Penrite will have an oil, fuel additive or a coolant to suit your application. They've been around since 1926. They're Australian-made, Australian-owned. They have stood the test of time. And the Penrite Technical Assistance Team is there to help us 7 days a week. Find out more when you visit Penrite online at penriteoil.com.au. Oil right, use Penrite, simply a better class of oil. And on today's show, it's a special exclusive. I've been invited to regional Victoria to mark the atrocity of where people perished in the Black Saturday bushfires. It was through this valley here back in February 7th, 2009, where incredible heat was fan-forced to up over 100 kilometres an hour, pretty well taking everything in its path. This special TV episode is in memory to help raise funds for the devoted volunteers of the CFA. Welcome to the 2015 Black Saturday Remembrance Cruise. Mother Nature has no boss. It doesn't clock on and clock off. Bushfire is in the same family as a twister. It has no boundaries. It strikes when it wants and is not choosy as to what it decides to devastate. The Black Saturday bushfires were burning across the Australian state of Victoria on and around Saturday, 7th of February 2009, and has hit the history books as Australia's worst ever natural disaster. The fires occurred during extreme bushfire weather conditions and resulted in Australia's highest ever loss of life from a bushfire. 173 people died and 414 were injured as a result of the fires. A total of 3,582 firefighting personnel were deployed across the state on the morning of 7th of February in anticipation of the extreme conditions. By mid-morning, hot northwesterly winds in excess of 100 kilometres per hour hit the state. As the day progressed, all-time record temperatures were being reached. The city of Melbourne hit 46.4 degrees Celsius, 115.5 degrees Fahrenheit, the hottest temperature ever recorded in an Australian capital city. This was higher than the fire weather conditions experienced on Black Friday in 1939 and Ash Wednesday in 1983. As many as 400 individual fires were recorded on that day. This was Black Saturday. First cab off the rank, the 2015 Black Saturday Remembrance Cruise. We have Graham. How are you, Graham?
Very well, Fletch. Yourself?
Good, thank you, mate. Thank you so much for bringing this beautiful ZD Fairlane along.
Oh, it's a pleasure. It's great to drive it on a day like today.
First thing that hits you in the head with this car is the colour, the vermilion fire. Now, what's the go there? Factory?
Factory vermilion fire, colour code 6. Everybody sort of says, did you get it redone? No, it's colour code 6, it's factory, which is really weird for a 1970 car.
Well, especially a Fairlane. I wouldn't imagine the top-end luxury car wouldn't be many that would have been done in, GT colours.
Well, exactly, and if you look at most of them around at the moment, they're white, they're bronze, they're green.
There's stories behind this one. The atrocity of 2009. The fire got very close to this car. Would you like to share that with us?
Yeah, the car was actually parked, Fletch, on an embankment, and the fire sailed straight over the top of it.
So paint unscathed?
Unscathed paint, certainly a lot of debris on the paint. Got cut and polished when my daughter actually brought it home, which is how it ended up at our place.
Yep.
And it still stunk of smoke probably 12 months later because the windows were down too.
I mean, you would look at the picture there. I mean, you can see how charred the whole area was. I mean, there was fire all around this car. What's the story, just quickly, with the XE Fairmont Gia next to it there?
Well, it got really badly singed and a lot of it melted, and I'm not quite sure what happened to that afterwards. I just know what happened to the ZD and how it ended up at my place.
I just can't believe the amount of radiant heat off a bushfire, which is just beyond comprehension. And it literally went over the car and left it alone. It's like as though it was just choosy that day.
Well, it was. Maybe it was the vermilion fire colour, like we talked about before, but it didn't touch wheels, it didn't touch tyres. I mean, there are bits and pieces of plastic there. It did burn it melted the interior light, which I found out about 2 months ago when I changed it.
And you've got that there to show us too. That's quite amazing.
Yeah, it is incredible. And it was one of those things that I pulled it out of the car and thought, what the hell has gone on with it?
Isn't that incredible that there was so much heat around the car that it actually melted that little fitting, yet your hood lining was okay?
Yeah, the hood lining was fine. As I said, it just stunk.
Graham, it's almost as though your vermilion fire, there was too much competition for the bushfire that day. It might have taken one look at that car and thought, no, I'm going to go around this one.
Yeah, I think it might have. I think vermilion fire meets fire and gave a whole new meaning to baked enamel.
There's so many terrible stories and atrocities from February 7th, 2009. It's so nice to hear the good stories, and this is certainly one of them. It's just so nice you've brought it along. Before we go, just tell us quickly what's under the hood.
Well, it's a 351 Cleveland, Fletch. It's pretty stock standard. It's got pacemaker extractors, 600 Holly. I haven't really done anything to the motor.
Graham, thanks again, mate.
Fletch, thank you. Great to see you here.
Yep. It's a pleasure coming here, and I guess, I'm pretty proud to be able to say that Classic Restos has had the opportunity to see some people and hear some stories of, as I said, February 7, 2009, Graham, and I'm pleased to see that this car here made it through the other side, mate.
Thanks, mate. Thanks, Fletch.
For the best in classic vehicle, home and contents insurance, you cannot go past Shannons. Why not pick up the phone and give Shannons a call for a quote on 134646, and the Shannons Club awaits you. You can interact with fellow enthusiasts, exchange photos, and also list your own car clubs and search for many more there as well. The Shannons Club truly is your garage. Check them out at shannons.com.au. And for the finest in oils, coolants, fuel additives, and so much more, you can't go past Penrite. Been established since 1926, Australian made, Australian owned, and they have stood the test of time. The Penrite Technical Assistance Team is also there to help us 7 days a week. Find out more when you visit Penrite at penriteoil.com.au. You're watching the 2015 Black Saturday Remembrance Cruise, and you're watching it first on Classic Restos. Back with more right after this. And it's time for Slick now. How are you, Slick?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, Fletch.
That's the way, mate. 1934 Nash. Now, before we go any further, you don't have to be Einstein to work out that there's not too many of these in the country.
Well, to my knowledge, mate, there's 2 of these in Australia, possibly 12 in the world. I believe there was 136 made.
What a stunning car. It's just, you do, when you get around doing the Classic Restos episodes, you see so many cars and words do escape you. I mean, this is just glorious. I love the burgundy red, highlighted with all the shiny stuff. This car has a story as well. Would you like to elaborate?
Well, yeah, sure. We bought this car in 1978 with father-in-law. He restored it. Took 30 years to get on the road. About 7 years ago I bought it. We went through the bushfires on Black Saturday. The car came close to getting burnt. We saved it and realised that our life was just about over, and decided to give her a rebirth.
How long did your build time take during all the hard times, Slick?
She was probably in the panel shop getting redone for about 12 months.
You realise that you've done a sensational job, you know that, don't you?
It wasn't just me, it was the other guys.
Did you manage to save your house?
Yeah, we saved the house and the shed. At one stage we thought we were going to lose the lot.
I guess it's not every day of the week you can find a 1934 Nash.
Well, if I sell that car, mate, I've got to go and find somewhere else to live, because that's part of me and my wife. We've actually had this car longer than we've had our kids.
I told you it's going to be an emotional episode, and it is. And these are the people that, the media comes through and we get exposure of when an atrocity happens, but it's 5 years on and it's still there, isn't it?
It's there all right, mate. It's a bit hard to get over.
You've got so many wonderful people in this community, though. I was blown away when I arrived here yesterday, the hospitality of even the people here in the motel. People, Wendy picking him up from the airport, all the way down the line. You're just such a great bunch of people.
I think anyone to do with the hot rodding world's good people. I haven't come across a bad person yet, mate.
On brighter note, it is a fantastic fraternity. Helps to keep you young too, mate. Getting around in a hot rod, how cool are you?
I'm the coolest cucumber in the street, buddy.
Slick, I want to thank you so much for your time out today. I don't know exactly what was on your agenda today, but to bring the Nash here for this very special episode, mate, I really thank you.
I appreciate you asking me to come down. Thanks very much, Fletch.
You're welcome, buddy. Take care of yourself, hey?
Yeah, no worries. Thanks, buddy.
All right. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, Fletch.
See you later, Fletch. Moving through this very special episode of Classic Restos, we have Russell. How are you, Russell?
Mate, I'm great. How are you?
Good, good. Are you as good as the old girl behind you?
Well, we're equally good. Oldies but goodies.
Isn't it a tremendous car? 48215?
Correct, very well known, commonly called an FX.
Again, we have a story with this car here. Now, share that with us, Russell.
The original GAP 692, affectionately known as the Gapmobile, comes from my family back in about 1964 or so. I bought it in 66 and I had it ever since. That car, after a few modifications, was unfortunately destroyed in these bushfires.
Now, how come we see the photo there on screen now? The roof is collapsed. Something fall on the car?
The car was in the shed with the caravan on the back, ready to get away if the fire came. We went out for half an hour and couldn't get back, and the shed burnt down along with two FX utes and various other cars, and the shed collapsed on the car.
It's too sad. I mean, the old car didn't deserve that at the end of its life, did it?
It certainly did not. No, it was a very sad day. In fact, I said to you earlier that I had a little bit of a tear when I had to ring Vic Rhodes to cancel the rego, but I kept the plates.
Russell, no one's going to knock anybody for having a tear around stories like this. Cars, they become part of us. Absolutely. They're part of our lives. You spend a lot of time in your car, you do a lot of things in your car, and you do become very attached to them.
Oh, totally attached. And my boys, the eldest one in particular, who's into his car, said, "Dad, we've just got to make another one." And so we set about doing that. We bought parts and a couple of shells and went about and built this car ourselves. Literally built the car ourselves, apart from the top coat of paint.
The first thing that stands out that I love about this car are the deep dish steelies. Those deep dish steel wheels painted the same colour as the car. There's something about that. We look inside this beautiful original interior.
I had an original seat still at home. One little shed didn't burn down, and I had the seats made to conform to the style and the design of the original seats, except they're pretend leather, not original leather like the original cars had.
On the home front, how did you go with your house? You managed to save that?
The house, we saved the house. Yeah, we weren't there when the actual front came through, but we were back as soon after as we could. Burnt right up to the house and singed the posts, etc., but didn't burn the house. So we felt incredibly, I can't think of the right word, no, I can't think of an appropriate word to describe the feeling, actually.
We see photos. I mean, it's a war zone, isn't it?
Oh, look, we had to drive over burnt logs and around all over the place to get down to the house. But it was a relief was one of the words, I suppose, a relief to think the house was still there, because we'd, like the car, we'd literally built the house there ourselves, so it would have been crook to lose that.
Well, Russell, at least you got something, mate. It's all very glorious. And, mate, again, thank you so much for turning up here today, mate. Well done.
Fletch, thank you very much. Great to speak with you.
That's all right. My pleasure.
Thank you.
I'm led to believe that glass melts at around 1,500 degrees Celsius. The ferocity and radiant heat that day back in 2009 melted alloys and melted glass. Russell's headlight melted and ran down like a waterfall. It's actually shaped like a tear from the car. And it probably was. It just drives so well, doesn't it?
Oh, well, depends what you compare it to, but it's, yeah, I think for what it is and the age of it, it's good.
It's kind of like, it feels like a mattress on skateboard wheels, you know? Looking for a place to lie down in the back. I love this three on the tree business, you know. What some of the
nostalgia,
guys,
mate, that's what it is.
What some of the guys do with these things too. They race these humpies as well.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing. How you would have been in 1948 driving one of these away from the dealership brand new.
Oh, you'd be
How proud you must have felt.
You'd be wetting yourself.
Thank you, Russell. Appreciate it, mate.
You're welcome.
Fletchy's first drive of a humpy. With me now I have Stacey Kinsmore, the organiser of the 2015 Black Saturday Remembrance Cruise. How are you, Stacey?
Good, thank you, Fletch.
That's the way. Tell me about the event this year. Are you happy with numbers?
Yes, I think it's going to be a big event this year. I think it means a lot to a lot of people, so I think we're going to have a big turnout.
When was the idea thought of to have the cruise?
Probably just a year after the actual fires, gave us time to reflect, and I wanted to pay tribute to Kate, who we lost up in the fires, and do something to remember her and everything else that was suffering in the fires. There just seemed to be so much trauma still, and we wanted to just do something. And I know there was a lot of lives lost, there was a lot of possessions lost, and a lot of people's possessions mean a lot, and we wanted to honour that too, and that's where the car cruise came into idea.
The cruise, is it growing in numbers each year? I mean, obviously recognition, it's getting out there. People are becoming more aware of it.
Yes, it definitely is. This is the fourth year. Last year we had a very hot day, so the numbers were down, but on average we've had up to 500 vehicles take part, and we keep it open for all vehicles because that's what it's about. It's a remembrance cruise. It's not, you're not there to show off your car as such. You're there to support and reflect.
Okay, and on that note, proceeds of the day.
All the money we make, every cent we make, gets donated to the local CFAs.
I've got to say this as well on the behalf of everybody, and it happens 365 days a year. The importance to all our essential services personnel, police, fire brigade, AMBOs. The list just goes on and on, doesn't it?
Yeah. Look, they're amazing. What they do, and they put their lives at risk every time they go out.
If you want to find out more information about the Black Saturday Remembrance Cruise in 2016, you guys have got a Facebook page, right?
Yeah, we have a Facebook page, so just ask to be part of that, and all the information's there, photos and things like that.
For more information, check out the Facebook page. I've got a feeling that it's going to keep on going. I think the people in itself there'll be too many people disappointed if it doesn't.
Yes, I think so, yeah.
I hate to tell you, but I think you may have created a rod for your own back.
I think so.
Thanks, Stacey.
Thank you, Fletch.
Right here, a piece of American history. And a lot more of it awaits you on a Fletch Tour. Have a look at this.
You deserve a Fletch Tour. See the amazing Ford, GM and Chrysler Nationals at Carlisle events, along with museums and private collections in beautiful Pennsylvania, USA. Then it's the Motown city of Detroit and its region, taking in more die-hard stuff with incredible history. Rounding off with the Woodward Dream Cruise, the largest moving car cruise in the world.
The best part of coming here actually was having Fletch here.
We get picked up, we get dropped off.
Fletch is a wonderful tour guide.
I would just recommend a Fletch Tour to anybody.
Go to classicrestos.com.au and click on the Fletch Tours icon for more information. Hope you're enjoying today's show. Back with more after this.
How awesome is this? We have literally hundreds and hundreds of cars lined up here ready to partake in the Remembrance Cruise. It comprises classic cars, bikes, everyday drivers. Cars are grouping here at Lilydale. The cruise is going to begin going through Yarra Glen, then Toolangi, Chum Creek, and then eventually ending in around about a 50-minute run at Healesville. Now this is a chance for drivers to reflect as they go along, to drive along in their own environment. Then at Healesville, everyone joins as the community that remains just so strong. Okay, we've finally all arrived here at Healesville. What an incredible cruise. Welcome to today's show, Paul.
Thank you very much, Fletch.
You're welcome. Over 500 cars participated. Before I go any further, I just have to say, Wendy Bennett, Troy and Stacey Kinsmore, what they have done to put this event together. What an achievement.
Oh, it is. It's great. It's a good day, though. It's a good family day.
Proceeds off to the CFA, where you don't have to say what a job those people did back February 7, 2009. And not only that, but all year round as well. They do a sensational job always, as all the emergency services as well. Talking of a cool ride, a bit of a rare car, a 57 wagon. Now, it's not a Nomad, just a 57 wagon, right?
Yep, just a 57 station wagon, just plain Jane. Everyone's got coupes and sedans. I thought I'll come across a wagon and thought something different.
You've been on television before?
No, can't you tell?
First time for everything, isn't there, eh?
That's it.
Okay, now what's the story with this? What was it like when you got it?
It was just a rolling show when I got it. Just no running gear in it, just lowered. So yeah, just put a 350 in it, put a 4-speed auto in it, put a 9-inch in it. Got the biggest rubber I can get underneath the back of it. Turn key and enjoy it.
See, that's the thing, and these 57s so laced with stainless. I mean, even the wagon. I mean, in terms of the rear tail lights and your stainless, same as the sedan. I mean, they just didn't skimp out, did they?
No, they're great. It's just good-looking cars.
Does it drive well as a car?
Does drives really well, actually. Drives really well.
Yeah, they're comfortable, the old slugs. They just are. They roll along, don't they?
You can't beat the sound of a V8.
No.
Just auto, away you go.
Well, you're preaching to the converted here, mate.
That's it. It's good.
Absolutely, it's the only way to travel, mate. Look, thanks for coming today. It would be wonderful to interview everybody, but that's just physically impossible. You could never do that. The paddock here is full. There are people everywhere. It's late in the day on the Saturday, and what more can we say, eh?
Thank you very much, Fletch. Love your show.
Thanks, mate. You too, Paul. Thanks, Paul. How cool is this? We got Chris. How are you, mate?
Pretty good, Fletch. Yourself?
Oh, it kind of rhymes. How cool is this? We got Chris. Yeah, I like that.
Thank you.
I might use that.
Very good. Very good.
1957, a Dak, a Splitty. How cool are you?
A little bit.
What I love about these things, it's not about performance and throwing them into corners. It's about lifestyle. They're fun, aren't they?
Definitely, most definitely. Yeah, we went to Adelaide at Christmas time in it. We get around everywhere, so it's good fun.
What's the colour of it, Chris?
Baronia brown.
Yeah.
Baronia brown. It's a Volkswagen Australia only colour,
Yep.
only for 3 years.
Right.
So you see them on a few of the oval Volkswagens and the Splitties as well.
Yeah. What I love about it is all the little bits and pieces that hang off these things. We've got side opening doors, we've got the quarter glass, we've got the splitty windscreen. It's like as though they had a lot of opening doors on them.
There's a few opening doors, yes. Very much so.
I suppose you feel like you're when you drive it, it's like one big revolving door, I guess.
Yeah, you got to watch out for the crosswinds. It gets a little bit hairy on the highway.
Drive okay?
Drives great. Drives good. Really good. And just the feeling of driving it, basically. It doesn't matter if you're only doing 90 or 100. The waves and the looks and the thumbs up, that makes it all worthwhile.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, engine out back, what are we running there?
1835 with twin carbies. It's got a nice little cam on it, a decent exhaust, so gets up and goes pretty good. It's got a Superbug IRS gearbox in it, 4-wheel discs. And a late bay ball joint beam, so it's not really a splitty on the underneath. It's only a splitty on the outside, but underneath it's late model.
Chris, thanks for turning up, mate. And I had to pick on you with this, mate. I just had to. Love the Dak fraternity. They're a fun bunch, and thanks for coming.
Cheers, Fletch. Take care. Good to meet you.
Well, there you go. There's just some of the 2015 Black Saturday Remembrance Cruise here in Victoria. And what a truly moving event. There's no doubt that Wendy Bennett, Troy and Stacey Kinsmore have done a wonderful job in putting this event together. In the meantime, classicrestos.com.au is the website that you need for the DVD box sets of the show, Classic Restos merchandise, contact information on joining us on a Fletch Tour, and major sponsors as well. As I say at the end of every show, until next week, please ride and drive safe. I'm Fletch, and I thank you very much for watching. You can like and follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Classic Restos TV and watch catch-up episodes at shannons.com.au. Classic Restos is proudly brought to you by Shannons Insurance, where you can sign up for the Shannons Club, and Penrite Oil, offering technical assistance 7 days a week.